I want to turn now to political analyst Paul Lisnek for some reaction to this. So, Paul, thanks for checking in here. First of all, let's get your reaction to this sentence. By many accounts, this seems to be on the lighter side.
Hey, Ray and Dina, it is on the lighter side. He faced up to the prosecution's request of 10 years. The judge herself said, well, we're looking at 6.5 to 8, but he comes out of it with 2. Ultimately, he will have to serve 85% of that, so about 1.7 years, by calculations are right in doing it, and of course, the financial fine. It's pretty clear to me that the message from the judge here is one of what's called general deterrence, meaning they're not so much a fear that the judge had that Ed Burke would ever do this again, but she did clearly want to send a message to other people who serve the public that they better not do this kind of thing, knowing that the consequences are significant. And that's what the judge did here. She's sending a general message to other people who might think about doing the kinds of thing that Burke did.
Paul, if you want to send a message, why not adhere to the sentencing guidelines? Because these are clearly much more lax, the sentence he received.
You know, Dean, it's a great question. And the bottom line is, I think that all of those many, many letters that the judge got impacted her as she said it did. Remember, the judge has to consider 2 kinds of things. There are the mitigating factors, those things that would lead her to go easy. That would be the letters. That would be the age. That would be the fact that he also did a lot of good things in his career. But, you know, as many federal judges and other judges will tell you, Dina, sometimes even good people do bad things. And so in this situation, I think had Ed Burke had a horrible career of the past, he might have seen worse. I will say, could it have gotten any better? You know, in looking at the statement he made, which Taman Bradley reports was short, basically, I know what one of the things he said was, I'm just sorry my career ended this way. Not so sure that's an acceptance of responsibility and too much remorse. Might he have gotten it cutting down more had he literally expressed deeper remorse? It's possible. But I think he gets off fairly easy here anyway, and probably expected some kind of term of incarceration.
Although he did say, I regret the pain and sorrow that this has caused to his family and dear friends.
Paul Lisnek, thanks so much. Appreciate the insight.